So, you're about to sign a new lease. You're reading through all the fine print and boom, there it is, a clause that says you have to get renter's insurance. Your landlord says you need it, but what does that even mean? And why does it feel like it's a requirement everywhere now? Well, let's break it all down. Seeing that requirement in black and white probably makes your mind race, right? Like, wait, is this even legal? What am I supposed to buy? And honestly, why does my landlord even care? Don't worry, we are going to answer all of that. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what you need, why you need it, and how to get it done without any stress.
All right, first things first, why is this even a thing? It's not just some random rule your landlord made up. It actually comes down to something really important called the coverage gap, a huge blind spot that could literally cost you everything.
Okay, this is the single most important thing to understand. Your landlord has insurance, for sure, but that policy is for their property, not yours. So if a fire or a burst pipe or some other disaster hits, their policy will fix the walls, the roof, the structure. But it will do absolutely nothing for your stuff, your laptop, your couch, your clothes. That right there, that's the coverage gap. Think of it like this. The landlord's policy protects the box you live in. Your policy protects your life inside that box. It's what covers all your personal belongings. It's what protects you if someone gets hurt in your apartment and decides to sue you. And this is a big one. It can even pay for a hotel if your place becomes unlivable. This is why your landlord wants you to have it. It protects them from damage you might cause, and it protects you from, well, life.
Okay, so you get it. You need it. But what can your landlord actually make you do? Well, there are some very clear rules of the game here, and knowing them puts you right in the driver's seat.
Your landlord can definitely set a minimum amount for liability coverage, and we'll talk about that specific number in just a minute. They can absolutely require you to show them proof that you actually bought a policy. They can also ask to be listed as an additional interest. Now, that just means their office gets an email if you cancel your plan. And yep, they can require you to keep that insurance active for the entire time you live there.
But, and this is a big but, there are lines they can't cross. They absolutely cannot force you to buy insurance from one specific company. That choice is 100% yours. They also can't just pick a crazy, unreasonably high coverage limit. And this last one is so important. They cannot require you to list them as an additional insured. Let's dig into why that little word change is such a big deal.
So the difference here is actually huge. Additional interest is totally normal. It just keeps your landlord in the loop. But additional insured, that gives them rights to your policy. It means they could potentially file claims against your insurance, which could get messy and complicated. So bottom line, additional interest is fine, but additional insured is a major red flag. So when your landlord tells you to get renter's insurance, what are you actually buying? What's in the box? A standard policy usually has three key parts. The first one, and the one your landlord cares about most, is liability. This protects you if you're responsible for hurting someone or damaging property. Then you've got personal property coverage, and that's the part that's for your stuff. And finally, most policies have a little something called medical payments, which is a small, no-fault coverage that can pay for a guest's minor injury, hopefully stopping a big lawsuit before it even starts. Which brings us to the magic number. The most common minimum for liability coverage that landlords require is $100,000. Now, that might sound like a lot, but it's pretty much the standard. Some high-end places might ask for $300K, but $100K is the norm. And honestly, with how expensive things can get these days, having that protection is just a smart move, whether your lease requires it or not.
One last piece of the puzzle, your deductible. This is just the amount you have to pay out of pocket before your insurance steps in to pay for your stuff. Your landlord probably won't have a say in this, but the key here is to pick a number you could actually afford to pay on a bad day, no questions asked.
Okay, that's enough of the what and why. Let's get to the how. This is your action plan. Getting this done is actually super quick and easy if you just follow a few simple steps. Here's your 4-step roadmap to getting covered. Step 1, double-check your lease for that exact liability number. Step 2, get quotes from a few different insurance companies to see who has the best price. Step 3, always ask about bundling your renters and auto insurance. Seriously, it's almost always the biggest discount you can get. And finally, step 4, once you buy the policy, just send the proof, it's usually a one-page document called the declarations page, over to your landlord and you are good to go.
So what if you just don't do it? What if you decide to ignore that part of the lease? Well, that's a really bad idea, and it can land you in some serious hot water, both financially and with your housing.
If your landlord finds out you've let your coverage lapse, they've got a few options. they could start charging you a monthly non-compliance fee. Or worse, they could buy a policy for you called forced place insurance, which gives you terrible coverage at a crazy high price, and then they just add the bill to your rent. And in the most extreme cases, yes, they could actually start eviction proceedings for violating the terms of your lease.
Now let's clear up one common misconception. There is no state law anywhere in the U.S. that says every single renter must have insurance. The requirement comes from the lease itself. A lease is a legally binding contract that you sign, and states absolutely do permit landlords to put that clause in the contract, making it a real enforceable obligation for you.
At the end of the day, this whole thing isn't just about checking a box to keep your landlord happy. When you get renter's insurance, you're securing way more than just compliance. You're securing actual peace of mind. It's about putting a financial safety net under yourself and your belongings.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Just for a second, look around your place. What's the one thing you own that if it were gone tomorrow, you'd be absolutely lost without? Is it your laptop for work, a piece of furniture you inherited, your entire wardrobe? Because that's what you're really protecting. Thanks for tuning in.